Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Mfon and I'm a mom of four. I'm an adult, recovering from my childhood trauma and trying to make sense of it by sharing my story to see if it's relatable to you and possibly work together towards healing. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about what is called a scapegoat child. In my channel, right from the beginning, my desire has been to talk about faith, parenting, and also family dynamics. Faith in the sense that, some of us, even when we came from a Christian home, we were traumatized by the way our parents, raised us. And family dynamics, the dynamics that went on in our home, in our childhood growing up in these families, especially the narcissistic family. So, in a healthy family structure, the parents are self-assured and provide their children with a warm and productive environment to ensure their overall development. In a healthy family where there is unconditional love, everybody is treated with dignity and respect. There's no, scapegoating, there's no golden child, there's all that, narcissistic family dynamics. Everybody, that household automatically produces a healthy society, a healthy relationship. But that's not the case in a narcissistic family. In a family unit where a parent or caregiver has a narcissistic personality disorder, other words, NPD, there's typically a family scapegoat. You might be wondering what family scapegoat you are in for a treat. So pay attention, because I was a family scapegoat. As I grew up to read about these narcissistic family roles, I now discover that I was, the scapegoat of the family. So, what is a scapegoat? A person the family blames for their problems as a means of deflecting attention from real conflict. For example, I was meant to take the responsibility of my mother, and if I don't do it, I'm blamed for not doing it. So narcissistic parents see their children as an extension of themselves. So for the scapegoat child, it's everything they don't like. She didn't, obviously my mom didn't really like to do, house chores, so she handed that responsibility to me. So in a narcissistic family, a scapegoat child is the selected child in the family that takes on the baggage of everything narcissistic parents don't like about themselves. I have that example. I believe my mom, because my daddy was a light-skinned person and my mom was not. So my mom, maybe she always wanted to be a light-skinned person, which explains why she buys, bleaching creams for herself. I remember one day she giving me one cream and I had to tell her point blank, I'm not a light-skinned person. So she wasn't light-skinned, she wanted me to be light-skinned. So a scapegoat child is that child, that selected child in the family that takes on the baggage of everything narcissistic parents don't like about themselves. You understand what I mean? So having a scapegoat child is also a way of exerting control, and use scapegoating as a tool which is often presented as a needed discipline. Another example of me is that I used to do a lot of work. I do a whole lot of work that is supposed to be my mother's responsibility, and she sees it as discipline. She sees it as training. She did not see it as abuse. It was abuse to me. They use it as they use abuse as discipline. And they use a trick as if they are disciplining you or as if they are training you. So to my mom, doing a lot of work was like, I'm training you to be a mother. How can you say you're training somebody and you just take up the back role and just relax and give the person a whole lot of work? And this person is your daughter. I mean, I am the only daughter in the family of 7. Imagine the workload that only one person will be doing for everybody. And to my mom is training. That's an abuse. That's plain abuse. So a parent use scapegoating as a tool which is often presented as a needed discipline. Also, a scapegoat is a person or a group you place a blame on. When scapegoating children, the child is blamed or shamed for all the issues that arise within dysfunctional households. Like I said, I was the scapegoat of the family. For example, the parent with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, blames their child or children for the family issues. The family then learns from their actions that all blame will be misplaced on the scapegoats to maintain equilibrium in house life, in home life. Like I said, my mom left her duty for me, and when whatever is food related, it is me that everybody will come and ask. For example, when my brothers come back from wherever they go to, because they were the ones that were given opportunity to discover life. So when they go out and they come back, I'll be the one that they will ask, is the food ready? So, and if the food is not ready, I'll be blamed for it. I'll be asked, why is the food not ready? Sometimes I'm gonna like, the food is on fire, the food is, it's still cooking. And you get questioned, why is it not ready? What were you doing all along? They forget that I am the only one that does groceries, prepare the food, prep the food, and cook it. So when they come asking, why is the food not ready? Because the parents has made that part of the family, that department, I call it department, food department, my responsibility, and anything that goes wrong, I am the one to be blamed, which is not supposed to be so. So scapegoat can be teased, insulted, abused by the family members, and unfortunately it doesn't stop in childhood. It continues into adulthood because that is what the narcissistic parent has modeled to other family members, because they feel that since you are the one that clean up their mess, fix their food, because I didn't used to do only food, I will wash laundry with my hands, wash with my hands. I am from Nigeria, so in Africa lots of our clothes we still do it with our hands. It's not everybody that can afford laundry machines. So I used to do a whole lot of work, because sometimes I feel, why have children if you are not responsible of taking care of them? I don't understand. So I used to handle that part of responsibility. And I was teased and abused and insulted, and it still goes on into adulthood, because that your siblings feel you don't you are supposed to take care of them. Your job is to take care of them while they they go out and discover life, and you stay home and cook for them. So I was insulted, abused, teased, and even up to adults, it still continues. Which now now as an adult, I have stood up to it and said enough. Which that's a video for another day. So I don't know if you've been in this situation before. Like I said, I was the scapegoat child in the family. Let me know your comments below, like the video, and let me know if you have been experiencing this in your family, where you have another one I'm going to talk about in my next video is called the golden child. You have this family dynamics in your family, that one child, that children are raised differently in the same family role with one father and one mother, but they have different upbringing, and that is what happened in a narcissistic family setting. So children scapegoated in a narcissistic family are often targeted with negative projections and burdened with adult responsibilities. I've said it before, I never had a childhood. I have been a mother all my life. My mom would say straight to my face, "You are a mother." She refused to say, "Oh, I've left my responsibility to you to handle it." But she's just saying, "You are a mother," so that she can give me a lot of work. So, children scapegoated in a narcissistic family are often targeted with negative projections. Telling me you are a mother when I'm a child is negative projections. I'm burdened with adult responsibilities. I used to do a whole lot of work that wasn't my responsibility. And that, still traumatizes me, because why was my childhood taken away from me? Why was I burdened with adult responsibilities? That I don't understand. I still don't get it. Another point is that family scapegoats can adopt a variety of coping patterns, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. For example, one of the ways for a scapegoat child's cope in that dysfunctional family is caretaker. Taking care of people. Like, I was given the job of cooking for everybody, making sure anything food related, I am there. So I try to wake up early before every other person and prepare breakfast, making sure that everybody have their food ready, breakfast in the morning, and make sure that lunch is there for everybody to eat, and dinner. Anything food related, I was the one who handled it. And also laundry, and making sure everybody is well taken care of. I was the caretaker, taking care of. That's the way I used to cope, because if you don't do it, you're going to be blamed for it. And another point is family scapegoats are always lonely. I remember my daughter asking me, "Mommy, do you used to play with your siblings?" And I said, "Nope." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because I used to do too much work." So I was always lonely. Even in a large family, I was always told not to speak up, because I remember my mom saying, "All these boys, they're going to marry. You be the one to cook for your husband." So you are trying to tell me that a girl child is a slave, or what? Their job is to save the men. Some of the things were cultural anyway, but not really, because my mama took it too far. So I was always lonely, and family scapegoats may experience significant trauma, but are most likely to break free from destructive family dynamics. Right now, I'm on my way to freedom, because I recently, reached out to my family members, and I told them how, much trauma they've caused me, and the pain I am currently going through, and working towards my healing. It's painful, it hurts that your family were the ones that were using you, abusing you, misusing you. So I want to ask you a question. Did you experience such in your own family? Do you people have family dynamics that you guys deal with? Share that in the comments below. I believe that you have one or two things to learn in this video. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the golden child. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.